2024 was a very difficult year for the city of Chicago, especially on the south side and the west side, where a lot of African Americans historically have resided. And the reason for that is because of the migrant crisis. Now again, the migrant crisis affected a lot of big cities, especially New York City. Black Chicago was hit rather hard. Now, one of the reasons why Chicago was hit hard is because Brandon Johnson is historically from the west side of Chicago, at least he says. And Brandon Johnson was a black man that worked in Chicago public schools, has a black wife, has black kids, and he really talked very black, especially when running for the mayoral seat. But Brandon Johnson has done everything except deliver results for the black community. And many African Americans are tired.
I have never seen so many black elected officials fight so hard for another class of people who have not put a dime into this community, in America, okay? The city of Chicago and the state of Illinois and the Cook County elected officials are literally going hard to protect these illegals. And the only reason why is because they're trying to protect themselves, because they done stole COVID money, they done stole illegal immigration money, they done stole all types of money, because what does the city of Chicago and Cook County and the state of Illinois do all day? Launder money. So with that being said, we, the people, the city of Chicago, Cook County, the state of Illinois, is requesting a forensic audit when it comes to the illegal immigration money, the COVID-19 money, the public health money, the departments that specialized in just DEI hiring. We want a forensic audit in all of those departments. I want a forensic audit in the buildings department, because they have been running an illegal eminent domain scheme in our communities for so long. Another version of redlining. We want a forensic audit when it comes to the grants that was given from FEMA and Red Cross. When it comes to any of those type of agencies, we need to know where our tax dollars is going to. And right there, that will give you the roots of everything. We also would like a forensic audit in each of the 50 disgraced 50 aldermen wards. From personnel to the 1.5 million for each of the wards, to their expense report. We need all of that. We need everything.
Now, with disgruntled people like that, you would feel like Brandon Johnson would have changed his tune, especially when Black Chicago voted for Donald Trump and the Republican Party at almost double the percentage he did the year before. But that hasn't fazed Brandon Johnson. He doesn't see the temperature changing in the room. He doesn't see that if this happens again in the city of Chicago, the whole state of Illinois can turn red. And instead of listening to the concerns of the African American community, he is not caring. We all know about what Donald Trump is trying to do with the ICE raids, and Donald Trump would love to send a lot of these illegals, especially those in Chicago that have been either entering the country illegally or committing crimes, back to their country of origin. But guess who's here to defend those immigrants? Brandon Johnson.
What do you make of the fact that there have been no raids so far?
Well, first of all, let me just reaffirm our position as clearly as I possibly can, that we will always remain a welcoming and sanctuary space.
The mayor said he has no intelligence on when any raids by ICE agents could happen or how many people might be targeted, although sources have told ABC7 Homeland Security is going after dozens of people here in Chicago. The Trump DOJ seems to now have taken off the gloves by saying that they will pursue deportation targets in schools and churches. What is your response?
And I find that to be quite frank with you, I find that to be unconscionable and reprehensible.
Now, this is crazy for Brandon Johnson to defend immigrants in his city that do not pay taxes or have not contributed to the tax burden for the city of Chicago. And this has become concerning for some residents, such as Cata Trust, who has been going viral all last year because of her disappointment with Brandon Johnson. But check this out. Look at what the city of Chicago is trying to teach illegal immigrants to do if they are going to be confronted by people in ICE.
I do have some concerns, though, about the fact that I do know that city officials here are holding classes to teach migrants how to avoid ICE or how to evade ICE, basically teaching illegals how to be more illegal, if you will.
So you've heard it. They want to teach people, illegal immigrants, how to evade ICE. That's right, evade ICE. So if you're illegal in America and you shouldn't be here, let's evade arrest. As you know, Chicago is a very democratic city. And you have aldermen, almost all of them are Democrats, like Raymond Lopez. He's a Democrat just like Brandon Johnson, but he's changing his tune based on the migrant crisis and how it's affecting his particular community. And this is what he is saying about President Trump.
When you always tell us like it is, do you like what's happening there in your city right now since this president took office?
I am very thankful that Donald Trump is making good on his campaign promise to focus his energies on getting rid of those who choose to engage in criminal activity in the city of Chicago and across the nation. You know, we can be welcoming if we choose to be in the city of Chicago, but we should welcome those who want to positively contribute to our city and to our country. And we know, unfortunately, that especially after the last 4 years, there are many individuals who are here and across this nation with very different intentions. We have individuals who are very dangerous, who do not belong in our cities, do not belong in our country, and I am glad that the Trump administration is moving quickly to execute these deportations.
Again, let me just say this. I live in Uganda, okay, as an African American, and I'm not a migrant. I'm a person that I guess you could classify as an investor. But one thing is for sure, let me go out there and start committing crimes, start making things bad for the citizens of Uganda, and I can assure you, before the police even get to me, I might not even be existing anymore, okay? You cannot come to Uganda as a foreigner, commit all kind of terrible crimes, and they don't get your ass out of here. You will be kicked out of here. So what about those people who are illegal immigrants in America that are there illegally and committing crimes? They should not be protected. And this is what the mayor is trying to do. And this is a problem with black politicians. On one hand, when you want to get elected, you're talking real black. You're talking real African American or hashtag FBA. You're really talking about the points of the black community. Now then, when it comes to getting those people out of those communities who are illegal aliens, now you're telling black people to be sympathetic and empathetic to the needs of others. Like, oh, Dr. King wouldn't have wanted it like this. We need to support our own brothers and sisters. We have the Black and Brown Coalition. It's all of these talking points, when clearly we know that the immigrants are not there to help the African American community or the black community or hashtag FBA. They are there for themselves. And if it comes to the point where some of them might decide to commit crimes and destroy your community for them to stay or for them to be okay, then some of them will do that. And guess what? There is no recourse for this. The more migrants you have in the city, like Chicago, that you're spending on them, the less you're spending on the police, public housing, the roads, education. All of that is cut. And you have a mayor who understands the strife and the struggle of the African American community because he's one of us. And yet he's talking up for another group of people to keep them safe and to keep them there. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are really starting to understand that not all skin folk are kinfolk. You have to really make sure that because a person's black and they're Democrat, are they really going to do the things that they're saying they should do for the community? There is no community in politics when it comes to black Democratic politicians, in my honest opinion. And black people need to be very leery of these things. And it's sad. It's a sad thing that you have a mayor who cares more about foreigners than he cares about his own people. And that only leads me to this last point. There's something that just ain't right. You mean to tell me that this man would stand up for illegal immigrants and not his own community, knowing that his home community will hate him? Then that must mean that somebody must be giving him a payday outside of what we're seeing. There's some level of agenda that this is happening, so he must stand by it. And this is why African American community, the Black community, hashtag FBA community, hashtag ADOS community must come together now or suffer the results. There has to be a bigger plan to get you out of these communities. It has to be. There's no way that a mayor who got elected based on the community will then go and fight for another community that don't pay him. So somebody must be paying him to say what he's saying for him to be so justified in his thought process. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with the episode here on Kinganda. I'm out.